What's going on, guys? Happy 4th of July. We're almost there. Today's a short day in the market. So by the time this gets uploaded, it's either about to close in a couple hours or we're already closed. But today I have one day trade recap for you. Actually, one day trade recap and a swing trade recap for you. So real nice screen day, and I think you're going to like it. Check. All right, guys, so let's jump into it. We all know that FCEL made a huge move yesterday. Here it is. We had this big move here in pre-market. Then, all day long, it just grinded higher and higher. And after hours, it gapped up, made a big, huge move in pre-market. And then today, it's kind of like just, it's touched the dollar multiple times and came back down. I was able to get long in one of these dips, and I sold just 25% of my position up here near the high of day, and then I stopped out the rest at break even just because I not trusting it 100%, even though I really am liking this setup. Let me show you right here on the chart. Let me make this a little smaller. We're holding VWAP. We're holding this 90 cent area, 89 cent, well, 86 cent area. The problem was that I got in on this dip, okay? And then I added here thinking we were going to start to trek back up to $1. Instead, we just grinded. I took some profit off here, and then I held through all of this, and then I stopped out here, break even, a little bit above break even, and called it a trade there. Once I booked some profit up here, well, actually, once I added here, took some profit up here, my average was 89 cents. I had no interest in watching this come back down to 86 or 79 cents for that matter. I had no interest in watching, the stock do that and then turning my little green day into a red day. I don't want that to happen. Had the stock done what, I expected it to do, with shorts trapped up in here, was pretty much on this candle right here. We'd set this high, maybe consolidate a little bit, and then bang, break $1 and, go to $1.10 or so. Making, if all the cards would have played off real good here, today would have been a nice $300 day. Instead, I'm sitting at 47 bucks on this trade. And I had a swing trade on SLS from yesterday to today that made me close to another almost $100 there. So not a bad day, right around that $150 mark when I factor in everything. I'll show you here and I do have the trade live, and I'll show that to you in a second. SLS trade here for today. I got long yesterday down here at 14.7, and we gapped up, made a real nice move. I booked some profit at let me see where that was. I booked some profit at 20 cents, and I booked more profit at 24 cents, and then I stopped out the rest as we started to come back down here at 22 cents, 22.3. So that was a nice little trade there, and this one was a nice trade. It would have been a real good trade had it worked out, instead of now we're back down here. I'm not trusting it. Short day, because tomorrow is Independence Day here in the U.S., so market's closed. We're closing early today at 1 p.m. So it's a toss-up. It's anybody's guess here whether shorts are going to want to cover their position and not hold it into the long weekend, or whether longs are just going to give up on it since, we're going into the long weekend. I mean, it's a real toss-up here. I feel like it's starting to get a little heavy, even though I'm loving this pattern. Maybe it's because it's a short day. Excuse me, market's about to close in 3 hours. That's it. I'm done. Don't really want to partake in this. Lunchtime is coming in, and then right after that, we close up shop. So, I don't know. Let me show you the live trade here for you. We're going to go ahead and get this going. So, I mean, this went on for an hour because I forgot to hit the stop button, but the trade didn't go on for an hour, even though it went on for a very lengthy amount of time. See, my entries, well, you know what? Oh boy, I did it again. So my entry was 0.875, 1,000 shares. I added 500 more shares at 0.90. Then I took 200. I'm sorry, I took 500 shares off at 0.968, and then I stopped out the rest at 0.904. So those are my orders right there. You saw them, right? Yeah. Those are my orders there. Let me get this going. So I'm in here. See, on that first pullback, I jumped in with 1,000 shares. My stop at the time was 79 cents. You know, we're holding this 90 MA, holding this little kind of like support pivot area at 80. So volume isn't bad on the pullback. It's not huge. Then we start to hold this 90 MA. You see, we held it here, we held it here, we held it here. And then there's where I add. Why do I add there? Well, because VWAP and the 90 MA are lining up. We're breaking over this candle. We're breaking over this 90 pivot area. So I add another 500 shares because why not? You know, I think we're going to go now. I expected this to either in this 3-minute candle or the next one to go right back up to high a day. And then we get this 90 MA crossing over VWAP. If we get volume increase, we should break over $1. So we don't. We get that choppy action, but we're still holding, you know, VWAP and the 90 MA. So I'm still, you know, confident in the trade. And it's just a waiting game at this point, you know, little green, little red. Meanwhile, you don't get to see it here, but let me move it over. Meanwhile, SLS is pushing up to new highs. At this point, I had an order to sell at 30, but it never hit that. It hit 0.288, and that was all she wrote for SLS. So I'm going to fast forward this because it is a very long trade. We start to get that little pullback here. Now, when we get this little pullback here, I start to actually think about lining my position up and maybe getting rid of those 500 shares I added and just getting rid of those and keeping my base position. And I can re-add again, you know, later if I think it's going to do what I expect it to do. However, I don't end up unloading those 500 shares. I keep them, you know, because it didn't hit my area where I was going to stop out of them. So we're still in there, and now we start to get the move. We start to get that move there, and I'm thinking this is the one. So I take some off right in front of the high of the day. I put out an order to sell 500 shares, and I booked those. You'll see it'll come up now here. It's a limit order. I already have it out, or about to have it out. And then you'll see how my share quantity will drop here from 1,500 to 1,000. Well, let's give this a little help. Should be right around now. There we go. Okay, so there it is. We're up a little bit over $100 at one point. Put out my limit order to sell 500 shares. Those should be getting hit here any second. See, my plan was to get rid of those 500 right there in front of the dollar area, and then hold the 1,000, the bulk of my position for the, see, there they go, they're gone. Hold my position, my 1,000 share position for the break over $1. That would have been excellent. I wanted to sell, you know, some between 105 and 110, and then the rest around that 115 to 120 area. Sell the last 500 there. Would have booked me a real nice, probably $300 day. But hey, the stock didn't want to do it. So I had to do what I had to do, which was in this case, my plan. Sell 500 shares here in front of the high day, hold on to the rest, and watch my stop. I'm not going to let this trade go red on me. I hate, you know, getting into these trades, booking some profit, and then getting greedy and allowing the trade to go red on me, especially on the day and in the time frame now where the market's just not really there for us, right? So whatever, I booked that, hits 98 cents, and then it starts come right back down, and that's all it's doing right there, just trading sideways, sideways, sideways. Now there's right here's where I stop out, but I stop out. I didn't have a hard stop out anymore. This entire time from here, these are 3-minute candles, to this one, to this one, and this one, and this one, and that one. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 21 minutes of all I did was sit here staring at this level 2 and my time in sales, just reading the order flow. That's all I did here, because I wasn't going to put myself in a position where we might get a little flash drop and then bounce. So if I would have had a hard stop out at 90 cents, I would have gotten taken out. A couple times this thing reached a little bit lower than 90 cents and I stuck with it because I saw the bids pop back in. There's bids that kept popping back in, 15, 20,000 share positions on the bid, getting popped back in, propping the stock up, holding as support, watching the amount of shares on the ask, I was just reading the level 2 and time and sale, something I don't normally do because I usually just trade the patterns. And I watch my level 2 and time and sales, but I don't just sit there reading it. However, in this case, I was doing it because this is a real cheap stock. So you'll get a lot of manipulation like that, real quick flash drops and pops back up. Bids will come in, 10, 20, 30,000 share bids will come in and then the stock will jump. So I'm in there right now and I'm really looking to get this dollar breakout. It just didn't happen. So I end up stopping out, right there as we started to get too close to this 90. My average cost at this point is 89 cents and I'm not looking to give up any profit right now. I'm just not looking to give up any profit. So that's it. I stop out there and right there I stop out. And so far, it looks like it's been the right choice so far. Let me get this. I mean, it looks heavy right now. The volume is drying up really, really, really nasty. And it's starting to look heavy. So I'm glad I'm out of that at this point and out of my SLS. Green day, ending the week green. How did you do today? What are your plans for the 4th of July? Remember to, do your whole thing, barbecue, pool, but study up as well. Watch some videos and get ready for next week. Let me know how the day went for you. What did you trade? Drop it in the comment section below. Remember to comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. And you know what? If you really want to know the new video is coming down tomorrow, make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted when the video drops tomorrow. I think you're really going to like this video. We're going to be talking a little bit about warrior trading Ross. So check it out.